Hilarities all weekend long, and if you aren't going to Hilarities or after you go to Hilarities or before you go to Hilarities, how about going to the movies?
Sounds good to me.
Here's the deal. Every week I do something movies, you know, and
Yes.
people go like, Transformers, that's for the kids. Tammy, that's too silly for me. Why don't you do some adult movies? Not adult movies like X
Not
movies,
adult films,
but movies
yes,
like, you
but
know, like real family
for
stories and
adults.
kind of things. There's a movie coming out, it's called Wish I Was Here. Check it out.
I'm gonna be laid up for a while. I'm gonna need you to watch Coco.
There's so much bad news all at once.
What about my dream? I mean, doesn't God believe in my pursuit of happiness?
No.
Well, thank you. This is our father. You have to rally with me.
Absolutely not.
Your boys will remember this time for the rest of their lives. It will shape who they are as men.
We both spent our entire lives wishing we could be something great. And now we're finally called upon to do something that requires some actual bravery.
The young man we see, not the one with the space helmet, but the other one, Zach Braff, and he is the writer, director, and he stars in it. Also did a movie called Garden State. I think that was about 10 years ago. People love that movie. This is his second movie to direct. He stars in it with Kate Hudson, Mandy Patinkin, Josh Gad, and it's one of those movies that sort of like a family where Zach plays a character who wants to be an actor, wants to be a movie star, and his dad supports him and the family, and his dad gets sick, can't help support him anymore. His dad may be dying, Mandy Patinkin, and he has to sort of get his act together and, you know, become a real man, and this whole thing drives the family towards getting it together. So Zach Braff and Kate Hudson talked a little bit about this, about the characters and the story itself.
And we knew that we were writing about things that were hurt our heart. The idea of losing our father, who's our just hero and our patriarch, and the idea of trying to explain that to two young kids, and all, of course, that was painful. But it wasn't until these actors brought it to life on a level that we could have never daydreamed, that you're sitting there on the set looking at the monitor, and we look over each other like tears in our eyes with our jaws dropped. I was just so blessed to have the level of talent that we were able to get and make those words come to life.
At the core of it, I think the most relatable is that we all pass on, and what are we doing in the meantime, and what are we leaving behind in terms of our legacy?
It could sound a little grim and gray there, but there's always there's a sense of humor that goes with it. You know, It's like real life, and that's what's really good about this kind of movie. It's like real life, you know, and you see yourself in it, or you see experiences you may have had or other people have, and it makes it an interesting piece of work.
I think it'll be nice to see Kate Hudson too in a role like this. I feel like she doesn't normally play roles like this, so
and the
it'll be
music
nice.
and the music in this fellow's films, Zach's films it's always very good. And there's a special song made for this movie, and it's terrific. A lot of you guys know Josh Gad, right?
Yes.
Good guy.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I've never met him before. So.
Well, he's a fun guy. He talks.
Looks like he's a nice guy.
He talks about this too, talking about the fact that this movie, it's got its highs, it's got its lows, it's got its humor, it's got its sad moments. Take it away, Josh.
And I feel like the movie just accomplishes this balancing act of going from, funny to serious to funny, and being incredibly relatable every step of the way. And the idea of dealing with, confronting your own spirituality in the face of huge adversity is something that I think everybody relates to. You confront your own faith, you confront your belief system, you confront kind of, how it fits into your life, especially when you're dealing with issues like loss. And I think that that's something, whether you're Jewish, whether you're Catholic, whether you're Muslim, whatever your background is, Buddhist, you always have to confront that. There's always a moment in your life where you gotta go, which way do I go? Where do I pull from the strength that I need right now in order to confront these issues?
This film it's like one of those great series you see on TV about a family, all the things that happen within the family, like, oh man, I wish it wouldn't happen. And this happens, then you laugh about it, and then something sad happens, but it's a movie and it's turned up 10 times. So it's really good in that respect. Now, what's really interesting is this guy's talking about, all these things that happen, but how about personally for him? Part of this movie is the father, Mandy Patinkin, who's getting sick, is telling his son, forget about being an actor, be a dad with some responsibility, that kind of thing. So he said, don't be an actor, give it up, do something more serious. And so Josh talks a little bit about, his own career. I mean, it was sort of rough in the beginning, and then good things happened.
Could not have been more
Brothers and
supportive.
sisters.
In fact, I was ready to quit the industry about 3 years out of college, and I called up my mom and told her I was going to go to law school, and she started crying. And I go, "Why are you crying? I would think that you would be so happy." And she said to me, "Because you devoted 15 years of pursuing your dream, and you're only devoting 3 years to living out your dream. And I don't think that that's fair to do to yourself." And I couldn't believe that advice. And a week later, I got my big break on Broadway, and it was life-changing.
Big break would be Book of Mormon. I mean, lit up his career, and it's on fire now. Mandy Patinkin's been around a long time, going all the way back to Princess Bride, Homeland. He was, great on that thing. But he has also something to say about, parental support for this kind of career.
My parents were incredibly supportive, in spite of many of their friends who railed against them for, like, how dare you let Mandy go into the arts? This is so irresponsible as a parent. You should go and get a business degree. And my parents certainly had their heart in their mouth, but they stood by me. And my mom said to some very powerful, strong friends of hers who were like my second mothers, it's what he wants to try and do. Let's see if he does it. If he doesn't, he'll go to Plan B later on, but we're going with it. And so my mom and dad get all the credit because they had some very vocal, powerful friends who were trying to scare the hell out of him. And they said, he's going to follow his dream. And that's what I tell anybody I run into. If you have some kind of dream, anything, whatever it is, go for it. What's the worst that can happen? Go to Dream 2.
How do you like that?
That's some pretty good advice.
Yeah. Dream 1 doesn't work out, just go to Dream 2 and make sure you pursue your dream and try to make it work. Film opens a week from tomorrow. That's the 19th, and I wish I was here. Terrific. I recommend seeing it. And for all you folks out there saying we don't do enough films that are for the big people, there you go.
That's for the big people.